You know, I was glad when I started reading this book that there was a part in here about money, about wealth. And you know what? There's even more than one chapter on that. I'm reading this next chapter, chapter 10, Your Right to Be Rich. And I want to read you just a couple pages from here. Poverty is a mental illness. There is no virtue in poverty. It is an illness like any other mental illness. If you were physically ill, you would realize there was something wrong with you. You would seek help and try to cure the condition at once. In the same way, if you do not have enough money constantly circulating in your life, there's something radically wrong with you. The urge of the life principle in you is toward growth, expansion, and a life more abundant. You are not here to live in a hovel, dress in rags, and go hungry. You should be happy, prosperous, and successful. Why you must never criticize money. Cleanse your mind of all weird and superstitious beliefs about money. Do not ever regard money as evil or filthy. If you do, you cause it to take wings and fly away from you. Remember that you lose what you condemn. You cannot attract what you criticize. Here is a simple technique you may use to multiply money in your experience. Use the following statements several times a day. I like money. I love it. I use it wisely, constructively, and judiciously. Money is constantly circulating in my life. I release it with joy, and it returns to me multiplied in a wonderful way. It is good and very good. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. I use it for good only, and I am grateful for my good and for the riches of my mind. Suppose you discovered a rich vein of gold, silver, lead, copper, or iron in the ground. Would you announce that these things are evil? Of course not. All evil comes from mankind, darkened understanding, from ignorance, from false interpretation of life, and from misuse of the subconscious mind. Since money is simply a symbol, we could just as easily use lead or tin or some other metal as a medium of exchange. In the earlier part of the 20th century, U.S. dimes and quarters were made of silver. At times they contained 10 cents or 25 cents worth of silver. Then the government started making them of cheaper metals. But the worth of a quarter is still 25 cents, even if the metal that makes it up is worth far less than that. A physicist will tell you that the only difference between one metal and another is the kind and number of elementary particles in its atoms. If you direct a stream of particles at a block of one metal, you can change it into another. The alchemist's ancient dream of producing gold from baser metals is now within our grasp. But so what? Gold is no more virtuous or evil than lead. They are different substances with different properties, that's all. It is only because of the long history in which gold was considered especially precious that people love it or hate it more than they do lead. Let's talk, read one more section here. How to attract the money you need. All right. Many years ago, I met a young man in Australia who told me that his fondest dream was to become a physician. He was taking science classes and doing brilliantly, but he had no way to pay for medical school. His parents were both dead. To support himself, he cleaned doctors' offices in the local hospital's professional building. I explained to him that a seed planted in the soil attracts to itself everything it needs for its proper unfolding. All he had to do was to take a lesson from the seed and plant the required idea in his subconscious mind. Every night, as this young man went to sleep, he visualized a medical diploma with his name in big bold letters. He found it easy to create a sharp, detailed image of the diploma. Part of his job was to dust and polish the framed diplomas hanging on the walls of the doctor's offices, and he studied them as he cleaned them. He persisted with this visualization technique every night for about 4 months. Then one of the doctors whose office he cleaned asked if he would like to become a physician's assistant. The The doctor paid for him to attend a training program where he learned a wide variety of medical skills, then gave him a job as his assistant. He was so impressed with the young man's brilliance and determination that he later helped him through medical school. Today, this young man is a prominent doctor in Montreal, Canada. This young man's success came because he had learned the law of attraction. He discovered how to use his subconscious mind the right way. This involved making use of an age-old law that says, having clearly seen the end, you have willed the means to the realization of the end. The end in this case was to become a physician. He was able to imagine, see, and feel the reality of being a doctor. He lived with the idea. He sustained it, nourished it, and loved it. At last, through his visualization, the idea penetrated the layers of his subconscious mind. It became a conviction. That conviction then attracted to him everything that was needed for the fulfillment of his dream. Are you convicted about anything? Do you want something so bad that you can just taste it in your mouth? You know, try some of these techniques that this book tells you, and you will get what you are looking for. You will become a better person. You will get that job. You will be able to get that house. You will have a good marriage no matter what. Whatever it is, you can get it. All you have to do is change your thoughts. Change your life. That's what this book is all about. The power of your subconscious mind. Get it, and you will see. Well, that's all I have for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.